Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Boston Public Schools' celebration of Career and Technical Education Week. I want to thank you all for joining us today. We are recording this webinar so we can share it out later to folks. My name is Jen Smith. I'm the Assistant Director of Career and Technical Education for the district, Boston Public Schools. And I want to shout out a special thanks to all the career specialists that are on the call today and the folks over at the PIC that will be sharing all this wonderful information for you about the summer possibilities of internships. So thank you for joining us. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to our PIC specialist.
Thank you, Jennifer. So we're going to start off with just showing a brief video as people are entering this webinar. This will be a good introduction for you all. So. All right, so just to tell you all a little bit about PIC, which is the Boston Private Industry Council. So we are a workforce development board, and we connect youth and young adults to different opportunities that are offered in the city through our employer partners, and that would include public and private sector. The PIC is an intermediary it's an intermediate organization for the city, and we are also a mass hire workforce board. And we work with everyone from employers to educators within BPS, and then a lot of different workforce organizations. And so we really try to connect young people and adults to the different industries, whether they be in healthcare, finance, law, and more.
All right, hi everyone. So we just want to do a little opening activity to get you guys thinking about how careers are going to relate to you. So I want you all to use this mentee website, and you can either scan this QR code or I can pop in the chat another code. So you're just going to go to mentee.com. And I want you all to think about how you envision your life in 10 years. So that could be, you know, where you want to be living, what job you might want to have, family life, something that you're looking forward to in 10 years, whether that's having a college degree or learning a trade. So you can just type in a few words about that, and we're going to kind of talk about that. So just take a couple minutes to, you know, think about that and pop it in the chat. All right, so just a few more people have entered. Thanks for those who shared. A lot of people looking to make some money, working and owning property, really good aspirations, and some people wanting to work in the biotech field. So these are all really good things to be thinking about. I love that you guys already are in the mindset where you can imagine yourself in 10 years from now. That's great. So we just wanted you to be in that mindset of thinking about the future, what your goals are, and how we're going to get there. So thanks for those who shared, and we can pop back into the presentation.
So hi everyone. I know we spoke a little bit about what the PIC is, what we do, but just so you guys have a background on what we do as career specialists for you guys. You might have already met your career specialist, but if you haven't, this is a little bit of what we do for you guys. So we do hold workshops for you guys throughout the school year, even throughout the summer. And those workshops can be on how to write a resume. Some of you may already have one, so we will help you edit one, and if you don't, we'll help you create one. We do workshops on interviews, so we'll talk to you about how interviews go. We'll go step by step through the interview process, and we'll also do mock interviews with you, which is great practice. And then we'll also go over professional attire and etiquette. How should you dress on the job, and how should you act on the job? Because those are really important skills to have. And then we do workshops on just how to be successful at work, and any other workshops that students may be interested in. We also direct you towards opportunities based on what you're interested in, what your skills are. So just for example, if you're interested in technology, maybe that's something you want to study in college, we'll help you find an internship related to the technology industry. And then we also just check in with you and support you throughout your jobs and through your internships, especially the summer internships. Pre-COVID, we got a chance to go to your work sites and visit you there. But throughout the virtual internships, we still, call you, text you, email you to check on you and make sure everything's going well.
So we just made this little roadmap so that you guys can kind of visually see how you can connect with your career specialist at your school and how you can go through this journey of applying to and earning a job. So the first thing you want to do is connect with your career specialist at your school. You can link up with them. We're going to give you the contact list by the end of this presentation if you don't already know who that is. And you need to fill out this PIC intake form, which is just how we gather information about where you are at in terms of your past job experiences and your interests. Then you need to work on your resume. So that might be starting from scratch or updating one that you already have. And that's something that you can do, again, with the help of your career specialist. After that, you can start to think about the jobs, what you might want, either a school year job, a summer internship, what will help you get to your next step. Attend career readiness workshops. Your career specialist will probably be putting on workshops involving how to apply for jobs, maybe how to network, resume tips, interview tips. Attending these workshops will help you become better at the job process and make you more confident. This is one of those workshops, so you're all already doing that. Great job. And then the next step is applying for those jobs. So taking the time to answer those questions thoughtfully, looking that over, making sure your application is as good as it can be. And finally, that interview process, which again, we are here to help you prep for and make sure that you're confident going into that and putting your best self forward.
So to support the PIC roadmap and make sure students have access to opportunities and resources available, this month we launched the PIC student resource website. Sorry, I'm just turning off the chat, so beams. If you're a student, you can use this website to explore paid and unpaid opportunities, whether it is the school year or the summer. You will have access to additional support with resumes, interviews, work permits, and if you get hired to a job, the onboarding process. And you also can use this website if you don't know who your career specialist is. You can use this website to find your career specialist and complete the intake form that Lucy mentioned, talking about the roadmap. Most importantly, this website will be used as the access point to apply for the PIC summer internship jobs. You will use this website to access the PIC application. And you will also be able to use this website to keep updates on any PIC workshops that we do, career explorations during the school year, and of course, interview dates for those specific PIC internships that we offer over the summer. And we can go to the next slide. Before we go into more specifics, we're going to have you do another mentee activity.
All right, so one more activity just to get you guys motivated and thinking about specifically what you might want to be doing in the future. So what career are you planning on for now? Maybe you only have an idea of the field you want to be in. Maybe you know exactly what you want to do. And if you want to tell us why you're interested, that would be great. We just want to start, again, thinking about the specifics of what you want in the future. So I'll pop that code in the chat again. It'll be the right one this time, I promise. All right, being a mechanic, great. Nice specific goal. Love that you already know that. A YouTuber, awesome. Something that you can already be working on now, so that's great. A firefighter, EMT, because they love to help people. Great. An engineer, awesome. An electrician, a teacher, awesome. Some of you want to have multiple jobs, multiple careers. That's great too. It's totally fine to keep your mind open at this point. A business owner, an athlete in the NFL or NBA, a doctor because they want to help other people. Great. Let's give you guys one more minute in case anyone else wants to share. A pilot, a dentist, a heart surgeon, a job that will keep you busy, keep your mind off things and pay the rent. All good things. We all want that. A photographer, a biotech scientist, another photographer, factory worker. So we've got some good options out here. Some people wanting to go into healthcare, some people wanting to go into trades, some people interested in going into sports or the arts. Thanks for sharing, everyone. All right, so now that we've thought about kind of where you want to go in the future, we want to kind of zoom back to where we are now. What can we do now to start thinking about careers immediately? You know, and so that's where summer internships come in, where we can kind of link up our future aspirations and start thinking about those now.
Hi, everyone.
To our colleague, Hillary.
Thanks, Agnes. Hi, everyone. I'm Hillary Hutchison. I work at the PIC with all of these folks. I'm on the employer engagement team, so we work hand in hand with the career specialists that you've just heard from. So as they mentioned, I'm going to build on what they said and focus on the opportunity side of the work. So in general, as been mentioned, we offer internships in a variety of industries and a variety of types of companies. So the most important thing in thinking about this is that, first of all, you all are so lucky to live in Boston because there's an incredible variety and amount of resources and opportunities for you to learn and explore and get connected to amazing careers. Secondly, the PIC has established partnerships with all kinds of different companies, and many internships offer opportunities to learn in large companies and small companies in all kinds of different departments. And one of the most amazing things is that you can explore different things as you are still beginning your journey of figuring out what is it you want to do. Those are amazing ideas that you just shared. So to give a little more detail about what types of opportunities are available to you this summer, because I'm sure you're all eager to start thinking about how you can make some money and get connected. So the major sectors in Boston that have very, very strong internship opportunities are financial services, which includes banks, includes a variety of businesses that do process financial transactions, technology companies and technology departments within other companies, healthcare institutions, so all the big hospitals in Boston, small hospitals, different healthcare centers. We partner with a whole variety of healthcare providers, and life sciences companies as well. Those are sort of the biggest areas where we have the highest number of placements. However, there are also other sectors in Boston, as you know, many law firms, architecture firms, engineering companies, higher ed institutions that also can offer amazing learning opportunities, that whether you're particularly passionate about engineering, for example, you still can learn a ton if you get placed in an engineering company. And it could propel you to a role in the future in a different industry. So the next few slides, I'm going to just go into a bit more detail about those 4 areas. And so this is a snapshot of, if you'll go back to the website that was referenced earlier, the student jobs at bostonpic.org website, there's a tab for job opportunities. And within that, under paid summer internships, you'll see all these different pages to these. This is one example. This is the business finance themed page. So within here, there's more details about what does it mean to work in business finance sector. Next slide. So there's all kinds of different skills you can gain in a job in a finance company. For example, they don't necessarily want you to be really strong at math. They also want you to be a good communicator. They want you to be able to work well as part of a team. They want you to be well organized. They want you to learn how to be comfortable managing Microsoft Office. You'll notice as I continue through some other slides, a lot of those skills transfer to other industries. So the main point here is for you to think about exploring opportunities. So just because you may have an interest in finance right now or an interest in healthcare, I really encourage you not to limit yourself to just seeking jobs in those areas, because there are so many opportunities within each sector where you can still gain skills and learn about new things that you may not even know about. So some of our companies that have hired students in the past and that are continuously hiring most this year, it's still planning to be virtual this year, as you all probably know, but some of these are very big name companies: Bank of America, Citizens Bank, John Hancock, the Federal Reserve Bank, State Street. Some of these are global corporations where they really do an amazing job offering opportunities for you. Even if you get placed in an accounting department, for example, you can learn about what a trader can do, or you can learn about what the communications department does, or the technology, the IT support at these companies is an enormous amount of work. So that's business finance in a nutshell. Next slide. So now shifting to tech. So as you all know, technology is booming. Boston, again, is a hub, and we have a lot of resources to get you connected and support your skills in pursuing a potential tech career. So the interesting thing about technology is there are companies that are focused on technology, and also technology is present in every single company. So what we're doing right now depends on lots of people writing code and developing the software that we're using to do this presentation. So technology is a really important one that can translate across all of these sectors. We still call it out because it is just ever growing and changing and continuing to develop, but just really important to think about the role of technology in our world today, and how many avenues there are to pursue careers. The next slide shows the skills that they look for, that typically our employer partners look for when hiring students. So again, there's teamwork, there's organization, there's communication, problem solving. With tech, there's also some specific skills, because in some tech jobs, there's a wide range of types of tech jobs. And my colleague Bruce, who's very active in the chat, thank you, Bruce, can speak more. He oversees our tech placements. So, but basically in a nutshell, there's a wide range of roles. So there's IT help desk jobs, and there's, which is more customer facing. There's also database, more focused jobs, which is like managing data. There's inventory type of management jobs, which is more hands-on, moving boxes around, taking care of program setup and managing actual equipment. There's also actual software jobs. There's a whole range, and there's lots of different ways to help get prepared for those jobs. So this is a snapshot of some of the skills, and depending on the job and the company and the type of opportunity, there's a wide range of resources available. Some of the companies, again, like I said, it's a blend of some companies, some healthcare companies or biotech companies. Almost every company now has a tech department of some sort, and depends on technology in order to function. So Blue Cross Blue Shield is one of our consistent partners. You'll see some overlap here, Federal Reserve Bank. Some of the more tech specific companies are Drift, DTCC, GE, General Electric. So lots of opportunities within tech. Go ahead. This slide just captures the types of roles, like I touched on before, that it's really important to think about, to not just think about tech as one specific way, but that there's a lot of variety in the types of roles. Oh yeah, media, I forgot to mention that. So digital media, huge, booming area of the industry. Many of you would be very, very savvy social media specialists in some of these companies. Okay, next slide is shifting into, so as you all know, Boston is also a hub for healthcare institutions. We have some of the world's leading hospitals right here in our backyard. So again, we're so fortunate to have these incredible resources right here as learning opportunities, and they all want to hire you. They want to support your development and help you find a pathway into a career that suits you. Healthcare institutions, whether it's a community health center, whether it's a big hospital like MGH or Brigham and Women's, they have amazing opportunities. They're the places where, you can go to the next slide, where students work in these institutions has a wide range. So again, the skills that employers are looking for, and these are healthcare employers, but still very similar: teamwork, communication, organization, time management, Microsoft Office. So think about this. This is just reinforcing how important it is to keep all your options open as you're thinking about what interests you most going into the summer. Some of our, like I mentioned, we partner with almost all of the big hospitals, Beth Israel, Brigham and Women's, they're listed here, MGH, Tufts. And a lot of these companies have offered internships for BPS students for many years. We have amazing partnerships. There are amazing people that work in these companies that really love mentoring young people. And so highly recommend considering a hospital or healthcare focused job. Again, there's also overlap with tech. There's tech positions in a healthcare company. There's business positions in a healthcare company. You could work in the Department of Communications or Community Outreach in a healthcare company. So there's lots of creative ways to consider these opportunities. Next slide shows again the different types of healthcare jobs. So the other advantage that a lot of the big institutions have is there's a range. You could be placed in an office, like I was mentioning. Some of them have lab jobs, like lab tech assistants. Some of them offer food service positions, which for students sometimes is a great way to meet people. You still gain amazing customer service. It's not directly doing health care work, but sometimes being in the environment, even if you're not doing healthcare specific jobs, still exposes you to what that industry does, what that work is like, who the people are that work there, what the culture is. And it can allow you to take advantage of professional development opportunities. So all roles in these companies, whether, again, like I said, large or small, can be incredibly valuable. The next sector is life sciences. So another one of Boston's booming industries. And the PIC is fortunate to have strong partnerships also with a couple of the biotech companies that are doing amazing things. So life sciences companies focus on addressing diseases in humans. They are the ones who have developed the vaccine for COVID. They are the ones who are figuring out cures for really, really complex health issues. So it's really interesting, exciting, cutting edge research work, often science focused. But again, so while the focus of the company is heavy science, it doesn't mean that every role in that company requires a science, even level of interest in science. It's helpful, but there are people that they need accountants, they need marketing, they need tech, they have all those departments as well. And those are more where we're able to place students in our internship programs. The lab specific jobs are pretty limited, unfortunately. We would love to have more and are always working to try to connect folks with more, but for liability reasons, it's challenging to get through the red tape. But regardless, there are some lab jobs and a lot of jobs in business units that are still at these companies. And so they do a great job setting up lunch and learns, so you can actually interact with scientists. You can do job shadows when we're back in person. But virtually, even last summer, they set up a lot of amazing opportunities to be able to connect directly with folks who are in these companies doing the work day to day in the labs. So very exciting, interesting work. And again, so lucky that all of this is happening right here in Boston. There's a lot of kids in other parts of the country do not have access to this. Again, back to the skills: teamwork, problem solving, organization, customer service. Again, you can see how all the skills can translate so well across these different industries, reinforcing the importance of really thinking about what type of opportunity, what type of place interests you, where can you draw on some experiences that you've had at school to think about what would prepare you best for these opportunities. Vertex and Sanofi Genzyme are a couple of our leading partners in the biotech area. So definitely ask your career specialist if you're interested in learning more. The next slide is a very short little clip of a former BPS student who has now graduated, but he explains the skills he gained in a virtual internship, I believe last summer.
I had the opportunity to work on different skills, such as my technical skills like programming, but also my practical skills, such as communication, planning, critical thinking, and many more. One of the things that I really appreciate about the program is the exposure. I think it's really important that young people get exposure as they're trying to decide what career they want.
And then this slide, just to wrap up, outlines the PIC summer internship process. And again, this is directly from the website. This is on that same website that we were referencing earlier. So cannot stress enough, spend some time on the Student Jobs website so you'll have access to all of this information. And most important is think big about these opportunities and talk with your career specialist. The career specialist is your avenue to accessing all of these. So the more that you can share with your career specialist, work on your resume, participate in the workshops, take advantage of it all, and you will be able to find your way into a wonderful summer experience.
Thank you, Hillary, for sharing with us all the wonderful opportunities that are available to our students. We want to make sure that you all know how to get in touch with your career specialists. So if you see here, you see all, actually, there's another slide with additional schools, but you can see some of the schools here and the career specialists that you can reach. So feel free to take a screen grab of this, or we definitely want to lead you to our website. So you can go to studentjobs.bostonpic.org /find your career specialist .html. So you can definitely take a screen grab or a picture of this, and then I'll go to the next slide, which has other contacts as well, in case you didn't see that in the previous slide. So I will go back again, but when you go to our website, you'll see how to reach your career specialist. Again, we want to remind you that we are available to connect with you guys. So definitely, you'll want to do a resume if you don't have one already. Maybe you want to practice for interviews for these job opportunities, and maybe you want to know how to get a work permit, amongst other things. We are a resource for you all. So we hope that you take advantage of what we have to offer. And now we will open it up to questions. So there's been a lot of great engagement in the chat. Is there any questions? Please feel free to add any additional questions to the chat, and then our colleagues Quentin and Bruce will let us know by unmuting themselves. And if you, well, actually, let me check first. Quentin and Bruce, do we have any questions coming in?
At this time, we do not.
Okay. We'll give a moment for folks to add any other questions.
Are there any teachers or school-based staff that have any questions?
And you can feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, y'all was speaking a little fast, so I didn't really catch like everything.
Okay.
But I caught some like about the healthcare, and I just wanted to find out about like I heard that y'all said that y'all do like laboratory and all that. So do y'all do like what's like healthcare? So like as like cleaning like the environment and stuff like that.
Okay, let me ask you, what school do you go to?
I go to Madison Park, and my voc is facility maintenance.
Yeah, so let's say you were interested in the healthcare industry. So we do work with several hospitals that do hire our students for internship programs. Previously, before COVID, students would have maintenance opportunities. This past summer, due to COVID, a lot of our students did virtual jobs, which is pretty cool. But there are placements for students who are interested in maintenance. So that's definitely something that you could consider and apply to. So that would include Mass General Hospital or Brigham and Women's Hospital, for example, amongst others. But there is definitely a lot of space in the healthcare industry for someone in your vocation, for sure. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
I would also add there's facilities management positions in other types of companies too. So keep your eye out, talk with your career specialist about that. I know, for example, the Federal Reserve Bank has always hired students in their facilities department, and they're awesome jobs. They get exposure to all kinds of aspects of the work. We also have in the past had jobs with the Greenway Conservancy, which is more outside sort of hands-on work, but there's definitely a variety of types of roles, and the hospitals are one avenue, but I would also say think broadly as well. But definitely ask your career specialist, because facilities has a lot of opportunities to do really cool stuff.
Yeah, I would just jump in. This is also Bruce from the EE team. In a normal year, when things are back to being in person, we have opportunities for facilities with like real estate in large buildings, and we've had opportunities with shared workspace kind of environments too. So keep your eyes open. Things are moving quickly in terms of how they will develop. There's another question in the chat from William. And the question is there anything related to construction, like working on a job site?
So I would say we don't have many jobs that are directly in construction sites, because similar to the lab jobs, there's a lot of liability with that. However, not impossible, and there are real estate companies that hire many students and would do site visits to job sites, and you would see firsthand what the work is like, interact with the folks that are leading that work. Also, we partner with a variety of architecture firms, and I would encourage you to think about that as an avenue too. They oversee a component of job sites, so there are different ways to access work on job sites. We don't have too many positions though where we just plunk you right in with a team on a job site, but happy to definitely talk with your career specialist. And if that's like really your burning passion, there's definitely avenues we can help you get connected to that work.
Thank you, Hillary. Any additional questions? Okay. Well, this is great. We really thank you all for being engaged and asking really awesome questions in the chat over the course of this presentation. Please feel free to follow up with your career specialist, and we would be happy to connect you to opportunities for this coming summer. All right, take care everyone, and thank you again.